Hi, I'm Jim Cook, and this is Reel-LIIFE, and I am with.
Diana Chao.
And what's the name of your film?
The Restoration.
What's it about?
It's about a guy getting closure of his family members' departure by participating in an extremely challenging restoration case, fixing dead bodies, basically.
So, what made you? I found it a very unique story. I've never seen anything like that before. I didn't know that could be done. Could you just tell us more of what made you want to make that story? What inspired you to make that story?
The film is actually based on a true event in Taiwan. It was like a couple of years ago. There was a helicopter crash, and then 8 military men died in that accident. And one of our forensic investigator, he developed this method of how to restore the frontal features by putting like the mask molding on their family member's face and put it under their skin to replace their skull. Is like become like the way to fix all the bodies so they're able to be viewed for the last time.
I found that absolutely fascinating to discover that, and it brings a certain human quality to it. Can you just tell us more about how there's like a universality to the whole thing? Can you tell us more about that?
The personality of it?
Universality is like it touches on death and how we deal with the people who have died and how we want to preserve their memory. And I was wondering maybe like you can explore more into that. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, because when we were exploring this story, I found that we wonder that what is this restoration work for? Is it for the deceased or is it for the living? And I want the viewers to think about, if I were the dead, how do I want to feel? Do I want it to be viewed in the casket? And then as a family member, how do I want my loved ones to look like in the casket? I want people to be able to put themselves in different positions and think about this whole process, because people don't usually deal with that until they have to face it. So I wanted to bring that into that world. And I actually found that restoration work really beautiful, and I want people to see the beauty of it and then be less scared.
You were able to what? Sorry.
I found the beauty in that restoration work, and I want the viewers to see the beauty in it, and then be able to actually appreciate it a little bit more, because especially in Asian countries, people are scared of talking about that.
What? I didn't know that. Why are they scared about talking about that?
Because they feel it's like such a sad thing to talk about, and people think it's kind of like a bad luck. So we usually don't really even mention that. I actually grew up in I'm from Taipei, Taiwan. I grew up in the street that's like full of all the casket and morphing business. And then my parents always told me, if you go home, don't go through that street. Just make a detour. So people really just trying to avoid talking about anything about that.
That's that's a documentary right there. That I bet you're going to be working on that. Could you tell us more, like what was a challenging production day for you?
Production-wise, it's really hard to find the right location for the film. We end up shooting in a standing set to be able to film the restoration process. And then it's also a challenge to do the special effect makeup, to make them look like, I don't know, dead, but still have a human touch to it.
Yeah, it was very convincing. I believed it. I was believing what I saw was the actual process. So you sold that very well. But I'm also very curious about what you have in your hands, and if you could tell us what happened tonight. Something very special happened.
I'm holding it. It's the we are the winner of the regional score, best original score.
Best original score.
Yeah, it's like my composer Duncan Thun did a wonderful job on recording the live music and composing it.
Could you tell us more of your relationship with your composer and how that go, what you were trying to achieve?
He went to USC's scoring for TV and film program, and I found his reel on the website. There are like 19 students at that semester. I checked out his work first. I found that's amazing, but I still sat there and listened to the rest. But to me, he's the one. And I remember first time talking with him, I told him that I love his work because I feel I can see the space. I can feel the time and space in his music. And his answer is that, is it just like in the mood for love? And I was like, he knows what I'm talking about. So that's how we met. And the collaboration's been amazing.
Great. I'm glad you had that chemistry going forward. Hey, lots of luck with your film. And I just want to ask one more question. How'd you hear about Life?
How what?
Life. How'd you hear about the Long Island International Film Expo?
It's been great. I mean, I'm really excited. My film is screening next Tuesday, and I'm really excited to be.
Oh yeah. Let me rephrase the question for you. No. It's my fault. I wasn't clear enough. How did you find the Long Island International Film Expo? Did you find it online? Did you did you hear through word of mouth?
My friends got into this film festival, and I think it's another independent short film, and I feel like this is probably very supportive of independent filmmakers, and I should give it a try. And that's how I got in.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.